Traders, Mr. Askelson here. It is Wednesday, May 27th, 2020, and it is week 9 of distance learning. And today on our matrix, we're going to be looking at rounding again. And it's always a great skill to know how to round so that you can estimate and just maybe check your answers if you're doing addition or subtraction. So rounding is a really, really important skill. And we've talked about different ways to round. 4 or below, you keep the number the same. 5 or above, you raise it up 1. And you can read through all of this information. We're not going to take the time to do that. But what I do want to do today is just ask you a few questions. And I think this is one of the places where people get kind of mixed up when it comes to rounding is using a number line. And a number line can be a great tool for a lot of different things, but in rounding can especially be a great tool to really give you or let you see where that number might fall as you're doing the rounding. So for this question right here, it says, on the number line, where would 320,000 fall? So I look at this number, 320,000, and if I was going to put this arrow on where that might fall in this number line, I can look at where I'm starting at 300,000 and where I'm ending on this number line at 400,000. And so each one of these little hash marks in between counts as 10,000. So this would be 300,000, this would be 310,000, 320, 330, 340, 350, 360, 370, 380, 390, and 400,000. So if I was going to place this arrow where 320,000 would fall, I would put that arrow right there. 300,000, 310,000, 320,000. On the number line below, what 200,000s would 560,000 fall? Now on this particular number line, I gave you the kind of the 100,000s that this would fall in between. Here I'm giving you the number and I'm asking you what would be the starting and the end point on this. So sometimes if I'm having a big number, what I'll do is I'll just kind of make it a little bit smaller. And just for a minute here, I'm going to pretend like those zeros didn't exist. And I'm going to look at the number 56. Well, if I was going to find out which two numbers would 56 fall between, would it be between 10 and 20, 20 and 30, 30 and 40, 40 and 50, 50 and 60, 60 and 70, and so on? I think we all could agree that 56 would fall between 50 and 60. Likewise, if I added a 0 in there, where would 560 fall? Would it be between 100 and 200, 200 and 300, 300 and 400? And I think we would know that 560 would fall between 500 and 600. So where would 560,000 fall? I think we could agree that my starting point would be 500,000 and my endpoint would fall between or at 600,000. So if I was going to put 560,000 in here, this would be 500,000, 510,000, 520, 530, 540, 550, 560,000. So this number would fall right there between the 500,000 and the 600,000. Now, kind of going back to this part up here, when rounding, what numbers to the right of the rounding place tell you to keep the rounding place the same? So, and if we remember that if we're going to keep the rounding place the same, the numbers of 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the numbers that tell the rounding place to stay the same. When rounding, what numbers to the right of the rounding place tell you to round up? That would be the rest of the digits. starting with 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So these digits tell the rounding place to stay the same. These digits tell the rounding place to go up. So if I had a question like this, when rounded 300, there's a blank in there, 9,624. If we took this number right here and rounded it to 400,000, what are all the possible digits that could fill in this blank? So the first thing I would do then is I would identify my rounding place. And since we're rounding this to 400,000, all the rest of these have changed to zeros. I know that my rounding place is going to be right there. So if I was to look to the right of that, I would need a digit that would tell the 3 to go up to a 4. So what would those digits be? Well, we just said these keep the number the same, these digits raise the number up. So in order for the 3 to go to a 4, I could use a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, or a 9 in this place, and then that would tell the 3 to go up to a 4, and all the rest of the digits would change to 0. So just kind of thinking about using rounding and using the number line and using those digits, kind of like what's explained up here, identifying rounding place and rounding that way. So practice your rounding today. It's really an important skill. Like I say, it can be used for estimating, checking your answers when you're doing other operations. So work hard on that. Maybe have someone check your answers today and see if what you are thinking and what you're working on turned out to be the right answers. I hope that helps, fourth graders. Have a great day.